Faraday's method for determination of magnetic susceptibility. You know that Faraday's scale is suitable for magnetic susceptibility measurement of a small specimen made from paramagnetic, diamagnetic, or even ferromagnetic material. And therefore, this method Faraday's method is suitable for measurement of susceptibility of paramagnetic, diamagnetic, and ferromagnetic material, because it requires very small amount of sample. This experiment or measurement always carried out in at room temperature, at room temperature. A Faraday's balance is a device used for measuring magnetic susceptibility. The force is measured as a weight change, like a Gauge method, using a torsion balance. I draw here that is the magnets and rough diagram of the Faraday's balance. This is the N, this is the S, this is the small sample cuvette, this is the non magnetic wire, this one is a sensitive balance, and here force, magnetic force is created by applying the magnetic field. That field produced by applying the electrical current, that magnetic field here is a homogeneous one. Then in this method, the pole pieces of magnet are so shaped that there is a region in which that produce in which the product of sorry field strength and field gradient in the z direction, sorry, and it is constant. This sample here should be placed in this region. In this method, it is very important. One factor is very important. The force is independent on the packing of the sample. In the Gauss method, the force is depends on the packing of the sample, and here it depends only on the total mass of the material present. This method is sensitive and highly reproducible, and it can be applied for single crystal also. In this method, first we measure the weight of material with or without applying magnetic field. First, in absence of magnetic field, weight of cup is a x 1 milligram. weight of cuff plus sample is equal to Y1 milligram. Hence, in absence of magnetic field, the weight of the sample is equal to Y1 minus X1 milligram. And next, in presence of magnetic field, weight of cuff is equal to X2 milligram. Weight of cuff plus sample is equal to Y2 milligram. Therefore, weight of sample in presence of magnetic field is equal to Y2 minus X2 milligram. This is equal to W1 milligram and this is equal to W2 milligram. Therefore, change in weight of sample, that is delta W, is equal to W2 minus W1 milligram. This change can be 0, positive or negative. Case first, when delta W is equal to 0, then substance is non-magnetic. Case second, when delta is equal to positive value, then substance is paramagnetic. And case 3, when delta W is equal to negative value, then substance is diamagnetic. You must remember that things. Force acting due to magnetic field, that is the F is equal to delta W G. This is the equation number 1, where delta W is change in mass of sample without or with applied magnetic field. and g is acceleration due to gravity. Here you be remember that is this is the force acting on the sample is equal to F is equal to delta Wg. Next, force acting due to magnetic field is F is equal to HV kappa 1 minus kappa 2 dH upon dx. This is the equation number 2, where H is the strength of applied magnetic field, V is the volume of the sample, kappa 1 is the volume susceptibility for the sample, kappa 2 is the volume susceptibility of air. I write value of the K2, that is the kappa 2 is always nearly equal to 0.029 into 10 raised to minus 6 CGS unit. And here remaining dH upon dx is a, that is the field magnetic field gradient in x direction. If you compare the equation number 1 and 2, from equation 1 and 2 we get delta Wg is equal to Hv kappa 1 minus kappa 2 dH upon dx. This is the equation number 3. Value of K2, that is the volume susceptibility of the air, is very small. Therefore, it is neglected from equation 3. Therefore, delta Wg is equal to H mu kappa Hv kappa 1 dH upon dx. This is the equation number 4. If you write the equation, this equation in terms of the kappa 1, then kappa 1 is equal to, this is the delta Wg divided by Hp into dH upon dx. for mass or specific susceptibility divide equation 5 by rho. Equation 5 becomes kappa 1 is equal to kappa divided by rho, kappa 1 divided by rho is equal to delta Wg divided by Hv rho dH upon dx. This is the equation number 6. Then you see rho is equal to weight divided by volume. Therefore, W is equal to V into rho. Substitute this V into rho is equal to W. Therefore, this equation becomes kappa 1 upon rho is equal to delta W G upon H W dH upon dx. For molar susceptibility, that is the Chi m is equal to kappa 1 upon rho into molar mass of the sample. Here m is the molar mass. Therefore, kappa 1 upon rho into m, you substitute the value of the kappa 1 upon rho from the equation number 7. From the equation number 7. Then this equation becomes is molar mass into delta W G upon H W dH upon dx. This is equation number 8. From this equation, by using equation 8, we can determine the molar magnetic susceptibility of any material. In practice, measurement of values done for reference also. Reference means you can use the standard. Which material you can use as a standard? Is you can use nickel hexachloride, or we can use, that is the tetrathiocyanate mercury cobaltate second. Then here you see, I use here supposed to be reference or standard as a that is the tetrathiocyano mercury cobaltate, and measure the molar susceptibility. Then molar susceptibility of that reference is represented by MR, R for reference. Then you apply this equation for the reference is equal to MR, means molar mass of the reference, into delta W is into G divided by this is the applied magnetic field into, that is the WR dx upon dx. This is the equation supposed to be 9. And for unknown compound, that molar susceptibility is represented by Xm unknown is equal to molar mass of unknown into difference in the weight before applied magnetic field and after applied magnetic field into G divided by H into W unknown into dH upon dx. This is the equation number 10. Divide equation 10 by 9. We get Xm unknown divided by Xm R is equal to, this is the M unknown into delta W unknown into G divided by H W unknown into dH upon dx into क्या रहेगा, H WR reference dH upon dx divided by M reference into delta W reference into G. This G get cancelled, this is the get cancelled, H is a get cancelled, then this equation becomes is delta chi m unknown is equal to chi m reference into m molar mass of the unknown substance into difference in the weight of the unknown substance into WR divided by, this is the W unknown into mass, molar mass of the unknown reference into delta W reference. X m chi m means molar susceptibility of the unknown substance is equal to chi m reference divided by molar mass of the reference into molar mass of unknown into delta W unknown into WR means weight of the reference divided by weight of the unknown into delta W reference. This molar susceptibility of the reference and divided by molar mass of the reference is always constant. This becomes, that is the constant, and that value is approximately, that is the is 16.44 into 10 raised to minus 16 CGS unit if we use, that is the Hg cobalt thiocyanide, tetrathiocyanide for this. Therefore, this equation becomes unknown is equal to 16.44 into 10 raised to minus 6 into molar mass of the unknown substance into delta W unknown into weight of the reference divided by W unknown, weight of the unknown substance into, that is the difference in the weight of the reference without and with applied magnetic field. By using this equation, you can be determine the magnetic susceptibility of the unknown substances. Then, what is the advantages of Faraday's method? First advantage of the Faraday's method is, you must remember, it requires very small amount of sample, that always required, that is 0.1 to 10 milligram of the sample. Second, packing of sample is not required, or it is a easy one. Third, anisotropy can be measured. Anisotropy means you can measure the magnetic moment of that sample in any direction. If that values are the different in the direction, then that becomes a sample is a anisotropic one. What is the disadvantages? Disadvantage is that, is first disadvantage that frequently calibration for equipment is required. And second, sample with surface tension cannot be measured the magnetic susceptibility of that samples. These are the disadvantages of the Faraday's method. Thank you for listening the lecture.